What's up? It's the worst way to start a stream. Hi, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my very professional stream. Yeah, hey, how's it going? What's up? I'm back from WordCamp US. I'm feeling better. I came home and got immediately sick, which is always great. Yeah. How was everyone's week? I feel like I don't even know where I am or what I'm doing or any of that stuff. This music is good. I like this track. What is this track? Let's find out who this track. Daily Train by Matatracker. I like it. Hey Kev. Thanks, man. Good to see you. I can't tell with your avatar because it's pretty small, but is it
great. It's KevXB.
There he is. Is it like something on fire? I don't know. Maybe. I was feeling pretty under the weather, but I also... So my trip home was a bit redonkulous because I'm trying this new shuttle service. So anyways, here's a long story that you probably don't care about. Why would you?
Oh, great. It's Troy Chaplin.
It's Troy Chaplin. And he changed his avatar from the emu to that smolder. Look at that. You're giving Kevin a run for his money. I live 2 hours north of Toronto, and Toronto is the airport that I fly out of. Antonio.
Oh, you made a wise choice, my friend.
Hey, Antonio. Oh, Australia, yes. The shuttle story. Here we go. Oh, great. It's Ryan. Oh, great. It's through to air. Anyway, so I live. We had this crappy van that we've had forever. And I've been holding on to it because I drive down to the airport and I park it at the Viscount parking down there. And it's nice and easy for the family because I'm like 2 hours away. It's kind of a pain in the ass to come pick me up or drop me off, right? So we sold the van because it literally needed more money in it than it's worth. So we got rid of it. And by the way, Antonio, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome, my friend. Obrigado. Anyway, and... So it is. So we sold the van, so we don't have it. So I'm trying this shuttle service, which is actually pretty great because they will come as far north as Aurelia, sort of, which is like about 35 minutes from my house. So that's actually not bad. But I didn't know when I was gonna get back. Well, now my stream is that much better because you are here, my friend. Antonio. Oh, nice. That's cool, Kev. Kevin was setting stuff on fire. Made a picture. But anyways, so the shuttle, when you land at the airport, you have to like call someone, and then they show up within an hour. So I wanted to get home in enough time so my wife didn't have to like drive in the middle of the night to come pick me up. But that meant my flight left at 5 a.m. Portland time, so I had to be at the airport at like 2. So it was just my whole day started like that. I slept for like 2 hours, then I was up, and then it was just and I just felt sick all day. And then it just hit me like oh no way, you're in Ontario there, Harrisburg. Nice. You're in Mississauga. Very cool. Yeah, I'm in Ontario, and I think there's someone else on the stream too who I'm not going to out, but they know who they are if they want to say who they are. Ontario represent. That's right, Troy. Troy's in Ottawa. We know that he's in Ottawa. He's like the president of Ottawa, isn't he? It's pretty cool. I was in Portland, like I said, at WordCamp US, and I was at a WooCommerce event. And I met a guy, him and his business partner. There we go, Kingston, Ontario. WordPress is all here. It is. It's all the rock stars. Well, it's the rock stars and me. I was talking to a guy that lives in Seattle, and he was just like, we were talking about like WooCommerce stuff. They have a big agency, and he goes, oh yeah, I grew up in Barrie. And I'm like, what? Barrie, for those who don't know, is like an hour south of me, and it's so like the small little town. He's like, his family's got a cottage in a place called Collingwood, and I'm like, I've been in Collingwood all the time. Yes, it's crazy. Small world. Anyhow, anywhere. I don't know. Yeah, so anyways, WordCamp US was great. I had a lot of fun. I met a ton of really cool people. I finally got to meet Alpuist Original, who is a lovely person, and we are now best friends. He's not on the stream, so I guess we can't be that close. Punk. Anyways, he was awesome. Yeah, we hung out a whole bunch. Who else did I meet from the stream? Well, Castralian we met. I'm trying to think. If you're on the stream and when we met, I'm not just shouting it out. Let me know because I didn't. Yeah, lots of great streams working with. Karaoke. No, there was no karaoke. Well, there was karaoke, but by the time we got there, it was kind of wrapping up. It was a little bit. And at that point, my voice was shot. It was the Elementer party, and it was the second party of the night. We got there, and it was. The bar got shut down because they ran out of booze. I'm pretty sure it was a great party. Elementer always throws a great party, but no karaoke. Not for lack of trying, but yeah, there's a big lineup, and I didn't want to mess with it. So anyways, it's gonna have to be, I guess, Poland or well, I don't think they ran out of booze, but all of a sudden the bar. Well, no, they did run out of booze. So they had a cool little bar. It was like a rooftop patio. So there was like an inside part where the karaoke was, and they had like some food out, and then the outside was where everyone was, and that was like out on a rooftop patio. And they had just a bar set up, and there was a bar that was just literally like one of those like banquet tables with like cloth on it, and they had some bartenders. It was kind of crazy because it was just like they just had this like bottles everywhere. Like they were just like mixing drinks, and it was like chaos. But they had this really cool sign that said all the drinks that they had on it. They had these really like fancy drinks, right? Like really nice old fashions and things like that. Things that old men like me enjoy, sipping on with a smoking pipe and a jacket with patches on the elbow. And then like I went up to get my second drink, and they were like out of half the drinks, and I was like, oh, okay. So I drank something that was basically all booze. It's like, oh yeah, wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either because it was free, but also yeah. So Troy, I'm assuming the after party will not run out of booze in Toronto. Yes, the best kind. It was good. It was fun, and I got to see so many of my people I hadn't seen in a long time. Meet a lot of new people. I love going to word camps. It's always fun. I had a really interesting and great conversation with someone who I would consider to be not a fan of me. Maybe that's what I don't want to say names because I'm not about it's. But we had a fantastic conversation. So someone that tends to respond to a lot of the things that I say on Twitter and stuff in like sort of a negative light. It's not me personally, just like negative against like the product and like blocked. Anyways, whatever. But it was a great conversation. So if this person is out there in the ether and they see this, it was a fantastic conversation that we had. So yeah. Australian, what I enjoyed this. I'm gonna just spotlight the I enjoyed this working more than any of these events since WooCon 2017 when I first met a bunch of new people. Yeah, it was Nick. He's talking about. Yeah, it was Nick, that guy. Screw that guy, Nick Diego. It was very cool. It was so so it felt a little bit like returning to the scene of a crime, if you know what I mean. At first, not that anything was. You know what? And that's not a political statement. It's just sort of like you're going back to a place where a thing happened that has been affecting our community for a year now. But it was like completely not an issue. It was awesome. There was people from the company that shall not be named there, and I met Brian Gardner, who I'd never met before, who's a lovely guy, and it was nice. It was really cool. Like everyone just wanted to be there to have a good time, right? You wanted nothing more for him to do what again? Oh, are you talking about Matt? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're talking about? Anyways, it was lovely. It was great. And there was no weirdness. It was very cool. Everyone was just there to have a good time. Yeah, just commit to it. Well, yeah, anyways. I'm not going to get into all that, but I thought it was really fun. It was great. Did I get stopped by ice? I did not. I had no problem. See, when you travel to the States from, and there he is, but Alpus Original, better late than never. Hey man, welcome back. Welcome to the stream.
Oh great, it's
yeah,
Alpus
Brian.
Original.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Asked Matt about why we don't have a flagship in like Southern or South America, which is like Yeah. This is like a good question. So he also said he'd invite me to Costa Rica to come speak. So I'm just putting that out there. Just saying. Just saying. I'm gonna keep doing this for an hour. He did build the Genesis theme. Well, I do technically need an invite, so I can ask people that pay my salary to pay for me to go. Yeah, it was a great mention. I was standing in the back of the room watching this, and Matt gave a lovely shout out to WordCamp Canada, which is shaping up to be awesome. I think you guys, you men and women, are doing an amazing job. Yeah, sorry, Brian did create the Genesis theme. Yes, Brian Gardner, and very, very cool. That was one of the first big themes, I think, like one of the first big framework things in WordPress, I believe. I think he was like a bit of a trailblazer that way. But yeah, so I met him, and we talked very briefly, and it was lovely. He was like, hey, like, he knew who I was, I knew who he was. We just never met. It was very cool. Yeah, it was great. So there's a lot of that. I also got into a meeting. This is fun, but I also, hey, Birgit. Birgit's here, everyone. Birgit Polyhack, who's an amazing individual, and I work with Birgit. She's lovely. She was also at WordCamp US with me, and some of the other folks on my team. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was in a really interesting meeting with some YouTubers, Nick Diego, Jonathan Bossinger, Jamie Marsland, Mary Hubbard, and Matt Mullenweg. Someone probably saw the tweet that Mark Zemansky, I think I'm saying that name right, put out, and it was pretty cool. We were talking about YouTube-y stuff and sort of getting more into like the but like social medias, Twitch. He specifically called out Twitch and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I nothing to really report there other than that it was like pretty cool to get into a room with Matt. I felt like I was like, like pull back the curtain a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is what it's like back here in the land of Oz. That's my analogy. Yeah, cool. Anyways, I'm rambling on here. I talk about WordCamp US forever. Maybe he's here now. No pressure. Maybe who's here now? What are you talking about? Yeah, I think Genesis was like the go-to for. Oh yeah. Maybe Matt's in the chat. I don't think he is. I think I would know. I can see everyone in the chat, and I don't see him. But maybe that's really who Alpus Original is. Maybe he's a sock puppet account for Matt Mullenweg. Doubt it. Anyways, it was lovely to meet Matt. We had a great conversation at one of the after like the speaker sort of sponsors dinner. We were all sitting around, me, myself, I, and me. The four of us were sitting in a room talking with Matt about music and all kinds of really cool stuff. Yeah, it was great. It's good to see him there. I saw Matt more at this WordCamp than I've seen him in probably the last 2 or 3 flagships. And I think that was awesome. Like he was hanging out at Contributor Day, like just walking around chatting to people, and he was there for the wrap up, just sitting at a table by himself. At the speakers dinner, he was like in line for the tacos, just like everyone else, chatting away. It was great. It was really good to see him like in I don't know, like with the people. That's a horrible way of saying that. But just like hanging out with us and just like being part of the community. It was really, really nice. I don't know if Matt. I don't think Matt's a metalhead. I don't think Matt is a metalhead. I know he loves his jazz. Yeah, so like it's good. It's good to see him like engaging. Like he's always been community first. Like he's always been very, very involved in the community. But I mean, like just to see him be like, I'm just like he was just sitting at a table with Otto, eating his tacos, and people were just coming over and chatting with him. And I mean, like it's got to be hard for him in one sense because he's a celebrity in the WordPress space, right? He can't go anywhere without being like inundated with people wanting to like take photos and stuff. But on the other hand, he wants to be part of the community still too, right? So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of speaking for Matt. That's not really what I'm intending to do. It's just like my impression of him. It's got to be a hard balance, right? To want to be available, but also want to have a little bit of like, you know, I just want to go to the bathroom, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine what that's like. We'll be you, yeah, me someday for sure, for sure. I am, you know, I'm getting more and more famous. We invited him to Canada. He said he'd try. That'd be great for us. Well, I'll harass him. Like, I'll harass people that talk to him. I don't talk to Matt Gray, Matt directly. Oh yeah. So you're saying Matt is the Conan O'Brien of WordPress? I like it. I like this spotlight message. It'd be great to have Matt at WordCamp Canada. I think it'd be great, and then like he can eat the like if you guys have the same food that you had last year at WordCamp Canada. Oh my God, it is amazing. It was so good. And then we have to get him with a beaver tail and some poutine. I don't know. We'll go from there. Yeah. That'd be very cool. All right. Well, should we get to work, or should we just keep going on about whatever, all this stuff? Anyway, today we were gonna do. We all chat amongst yourselves. I'm gonna dive into this because people are here for this. Peeps, the friends. Cool. So we were talking about doing building a custom block editor, right? And so I can't remember who asked for it. Was it you, Thronir? I can't remember. Somebody asked for it on stream, and then I said we're gonna do it. I don't talk to Matt directly to Matt. I don't have his direct number, but I do know people that can get to him. Or that sounded weird. That have access to him. Let's put it that way. Anyways, I don't know who asked for it, but we're gonna try to put a custom block editor inside a plugin or on a settings page. Basically, is the idea, right? Oh, it was you. Okay, well here we go. So I had done this, or at least I thought I had done this in the past with this presentation thing that I did. Is there a... But it doesn't seem to want to be working. Let's see, do I've done it? I do some blocks. Template include. Thought there was like a. Jonathan, stop this madness immediately. Oh my gosh, what is happening? My whole team's on. Well, some of my team's on the stream. Now I'm all nervous. I'm all shy. Jonathan and Birgit. I was just talking about how much fun we had at WordCamp. US and talking about all this stuff. So, okay, yes, this would be cool. This is completely possible. I've actually done this. So I've done this. I did this when I was working at 10up. One of my last projects, one of the last fun projects, let's put it that way, was we had this client come to us, and it was, I can't remember the name of the client. They were from England. They're European anyways, and they had this newsletter system, right? And the newsletter system was ancient. I don't even remember what it was built in, but it was built 10 years ago, right? At least 10 years ago. So they wanted to update it. So what we ended up doing for them was saying that, like, you know what? They're just assembling HTML newsletters. So we thought, oh my God, let's just use the block editor because it's just stacking stuff, nesting things. Like it's building, you know. So we did it, and we tied it into a Laravel back end, and it worked like exceptionally well. I was so happy with it. The problems that I ran into was with things like strings. Like for example, so we wanted to call blocks. We didn't want to call them blocks. We wanted to call them. I can't remember, modules maybe, because I think that was the terminology that the existing users had. Laraveloberg. I like that. This is nice. I like that.
Oh great, it's Philip.
Oh, it's Philip. Did that not spotlight your message? Oh, it's probably going to do it 3 times Yeah. So the issue that we ran into was getting access to some of the strings. So like we didn't want to call it blocks. We wanted to call it them modules. I think I know but when I went in, so we changed the titling as many places as we can. But then there was like some deep things inside like the inserter that like we couldn't change, right? So we ended up having to change it back to blocks, which was kind of annoying. But that was one. So that was an issue. The other issue was like with the release cadence of like how Gutenberg, how the packages get released. Every 2 weeks there was a new point released, right? So what we should have done, and in hindsight I should have done this, was like I should have locked the packages at a specific like where we were happy with certain things, because there'd be like iterations and all of a sudden like one of the components that I was using didn't really work the same way as it did before, so we had to kind of like fix that and move it forward, right? But we ended up having this like completely standalone system. We used it was like React and then obviously the block editor, and then I was using React portals to generate buttons and things like that. It was really cool. The client was super happy with it. Like we kind of told them what it was, but they weren't really that like they didn't really come from WordPress per se. But they were like, wow, this is really polished, and it did all the busy work for us to be able to insert and like move blocks around, and then all of the sort of like styling stuff. Like we had to do some customizations for how we would handle like styling of these particular things, but it worked great. It was really cool, and I would love to see like what Kev was saying, like something like in the Electron. So we didn't really need to cover much of the endpoints. This is Kev's question here. So when we get into this, we'll see it. Basically, the block editor itself, all you have to do is give it blocks and give it a way of saving those blocks. That's really all it was. So I think Laravel ended up having like a single endpoint, maybe, that was basically save, right? So there's not a lot that you really need for it. Like there's a settings object that we would set up, right? And then there was like the basically saving and retrieving of it. It was fairly straightforward. And the funny thing was, it was myself and one other guy working on this project, our Ritesh, who I love. I hope he's still at Fuel 10 Up, whatever it's called now. He was phenomenal to work with. He did the Laravel stuff. I did the Gutenberg stuff. And it worked out great. And I just said to him, hey man, just go and steal what Core does. Like to parse the blocks and save it. And we did, and it was super easy. Wow. It wasn't easy, but it was fun. It was a ton of fun. And I guess after we handed the project off, the team, at 10 Up at the time, you'd have the build team, and then they would build the project, and then once the build was finished, usually the client would go into some sort of like maintenance contract, and then so that would be a different team that would come on and kind of maintain things. And so I was talking to the technical lead of the maintenance team, and I guess they were having constant battles with the client's dev team, because every time Gutenberg did a point update, they were like, well, we have to go update this package right now, because they were worried, which is a good idea. Like you want to keep things safe and secure and updated, but I mean, it was secure at the time, but they just kept wanting to update it, and of course it would introduce new UI changes and stuff, so they're constantly having to like update it and then revert it or like fix it, or so it was. I felt bad. So maybe I led them down the wrong road. I don't know, but it was a hell of a fun project. Yeah. What is all this stuff? What is yelling at me? Oh, oof. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, so I wanted to show this thing, but it doesn't seem. I don't know why we need that. So it doesn't really seem to be generating some things that I thought. So there's a notes template. It's a slide, so that's a post. Huh. Oh, you know what? Maybe I need to. Okay. All right. So this is an old plugin that I wrote. Yeah, I get that, man. Like I think the instinct to keep things up to date is absolutely a good one. I think sometimes it maybe doesn't really make sense. Did I do editor? Is this what this is? In this case, it was a little bit unnecessary, in my opinion. But such is life, and I don't make the decisions. I thought there was a. You know what it is? It's this. Okay, so we have this presentation block, and we're gonna put something in it. All right, the presentation. Sorry, this is what it was. So in a slide. Okay, here we go. We're there. So we have a presentation. This slide, I'm just gonna put something in here. We'll call it whatever cover. All right. So we'll just do this and do blah, blah, blah. So we'll pretend that this is my slide. Okay. In here are the contents of my slide. So I had the speaker notes thing. So the speaker notes thing actually pops open, and it's a block editor, right? And you can save that. I mean, it's very, very simple. I ran into a whole bunch of like weirdness with it because I wanted to be able to like have colors and everything in here. So let's see what this looks like on the front end. So if I save this and I go over here, how does this work now? Is there? I can't remember. I can't remember how to make it full screen. But we'll find out. Hold on now. So the presentation, it's in here, is presenting. So how do I make it present? Okay, so I'm just gonna.
You made a wise choice, my friend.
Hey, David F. Carr, thanks for the follow. So it looks like my if I just press S, there we go. So now I have a full screen, and I think I need N. Boop. There we go. So here are my speaker notes over here. Now listen, it looks like crap. I know. Okay. So that was my speaker notes, and so this was done with the block editor. So if I add another slide, I'm going to add another slide in here. Boop. And we'll add another, what are we going to add side of there? We'll just, whatever, we'll add an image slide. Boom. And from the media library.
Right. It's Drayson.
Oh, there he is. Who the heck are you, Terrence? I got to stop calling you Terrence because I actually never remember your real name, which is Taylor. And then I feel bad about calling you Terrence. This, you know what's really upsetting about this for me is that I have a picture of Kevin that has been in my other database forever, and it's gone. That's the one that I always want to use. Kevin and his big beautiful face. What are we doing? We're building stuff. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna put. Hold on. I'm just gonna put one of these images in here. Here, let's put that in there. All right, insert, select, lies. What are we doing? Okay, so this is we're talking about putting a block editor inside of a plugin. So I'm just showing a demo that I did. So this is something that I wanted to put together. I wanted to build my slides inside of WordPress for presentations, and so this was the idea. Okay. So here is David Carr's question, which I think pertains to what we're talking about right now. Interested to know how to restrict blocks that will be available to the editor in those relative to my application. Example is dynamic meeting agenda, where I have specialized blocks for role activities. You don't want users to see all sorts of fancy layout name of spot. Yes, so you can do that. The short answer, my good friend, is so if I look at my speaker notes, we're doing a block editor provider, and there's a settings object. Inside that settings object, which is a whole bunch of stuff, one of the properties is allow block types, and that's where you would put your blocks that you would want to do in there. That's what you'd want to do. Shut up. So anyways, so each one of these slides is going to have this I don't own this copyright. Oh, save notes. Okay, so then in my speaker notes, if I refresh this now, oh no, sorry, I should get rid of this. Come over here, save that, save this, refresh. I should have two in here now. I do. But boom, boom, bada bang. Okay, so then if I open up my notes, I was super proud of this because when I was doing this, you can see. I don't know if you can see the notes. There we go. So you see how they're in sync now? Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's one way of doing it for sure. You can use a single post for each slide depending on what you wanted to do. The thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to go into like sort of presentation mode like this, right? Like full screen, and do that in a single item. But you could absolutely do that. You can absolutely do it as a single post. I've seen it. I've seen themes that do a really good job of this, where you sort of scroll and it kind of does this nice little overlay effect, and it's like. And Nick Diego's got one that he's built. It's really good. There's about a million ways that you could put this together. Okay, so that was something. So putting this together was fairly straightforward. Basically, it comes down to the block editor provider, and it's got 4 parameters. And maybe we should just start building one from scratch, and we can kind of see how this works. So there is actually a tutorial on the developer blog, not the developer blog. I'm sorry, the block editor handbook that does this, right? So we can kind of follow this. I think when I built mine, I just went and stole the source code from Gutenberg, but we can kind of work this through as we need to. So basically the things that we have to consider is like, we need to retrieve the information and display it. We need to save it somewhere, and we need to provide a bunch of settings to the block editor. And then there's some other things around slot fill and everything. So I'm gonna go through this, and we'll start fighting through this, and we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna build it on a admin page. If that makes sense. So that's the plan here. Is I'm gonna build this on an admin page. So I'm gonna just use use the create block package to scaffold out a plugin, and then we'll make the appropriate changes as we need. Because we're not actually gonna use a block. But I wanted to build all the plugin stuff. So this is going to be call this custom block editor. And okay, so we'll let that scaffold. So the plan is we're going to have an admin page, a settings page, and on that settings page we will insert a block editor. And we want to be able to. I don't know what we do with this content. So I'm gonna need some help from y'all chat. Like what would you use this for? Who's building that app? It was David Carr, right? So the app that you're building is what? Meeting agenda. Oh, that's nice. Okay, cool. So you want to build like an order of what we're doing. All right. So let's use that as an example. You'd probably want to do this. Yeah. So so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out a bunch of things. Yeah. Anyways, and if someone else has a better idea, you let me know, because that's how it is. In the meantime, I'm going to shut this down. I'm not shut this down. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. I'm going to go turn this plugin off. Deactivate conditional content. Deactivate fake bring me your issues. I have so many plugins in here. Okay, so what did I call this thing? Custom something or other, right? Custom block editor. There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna enable that. Okay, and then let's get to work. Okay, so in the custom block editor, we just basically have this. So we're not gonna need the majority of this junk. So I'm probably just gonna get rid of it here. But the first thing that we have to do is we have to register we're gonna have to register the page, right? So we want to add a menu page. So I'm just gonna use a lot of this code because there's no reason why we shouldn't. But add menu page is probably gonna want to run on the init hook, I'd imagine, right? So, we got some music contributor notes. What hook? Oh, it's the mid menu hook. Okay, so we're just gonna do this. Oh, come on, man. Alright, so we're gonna add this. I'm gonna delete the majority of this junk because I don't actually need it at all. All right, so we're going to put a hook in here. So the mid-menu hook. So this is just going to give us our the hook that the page that we are going to insert basically our React element onto. All right. And where are we? So we'll just grab this right in here. Format that. Alright. So this is going to be stay on the block editor. Menu label is going to be whatever. Edit post. Sure. Maybe we should just call it. I think manage options might be better. Did I spell that wrong? No. We'll call this Twitch. And then we'll call this, I'm going to give it a namespace here. Your namespace is going to be, Twitch. Contributor pops, we'll call it custom editor. All right. I'm just going to do this so I don't have to like prefix all my functions. What game is this? What game is what? What? I don't know what you're talking about, Australian. Oh, what game is this? It didn't land because I'm a dummy, so don't worry about it. So we'll just do this, and sure. Okay, so then we're going to need a function in here. The function will be called register. Oh, actually, I have to make a change here. I gotta do namespace, right? Do namespace. Boop, bop. Nope. Boop, bop. Where's the key? That key? That's what I, yeah. That's what I need. I need to call it right. I'm the only one that can make bad jokes here, man. Just kidding. Just kidding. You are welcome to make bad jokes as much as you want. All right. So, okay. So then in here, all we really need to do is we just basically need to output something to hook onto, right? So we're just gonna do this, and let's call this Twitch block editor, and we'll call this Twitch block editor. Sure. Why is this yelling at me? Oh, is this gonna be annoying? It's gonna be super annoying. Oh, I did push that. There we go. What's that doing? Why's that yelling at me? What the hell? Oh, okay. There you go. All right. So now this should give us a page. So if this plugin's enabled, which I believe it is, I'll refresh this. There we go. So we have a block editor page. So it's just doing this. That's just some stuff that we put in there, right? Type 1 function. All right. So now we're done. We're not done. We're not done. What are you talking about? Cool. So now the next thing that we have to do is we have to like get our JavaScript happening, right? So we're gonna so we're going to oh, nice. Okay, so we're gonna add this function here. So this is gonna enqueue our JavaScript. I like using inline functions. Or anonymous functions. Is that what we're calling them nowadays, right? Just because I like to. So this is gonna do the enqueuing that we need for this particular file. But now we want to make sure that we're only enqueuing it in the correct file. So we should this hook, which is admin enqueue scripts, receives a parameter called hook, and then we can check the name of the hook. Actually, what we're going to do is this, and then I'll show you. I've always found it really difficult to figure out the name of the hook. So I've always just done a die statement on it, which is hilarious. But so I'm pretty sure that this is going to be called top level page get Dave's BE. I think it's going to be Twitch. I think that's going to be the name of the page. But we will find out in a second because we're going to just do the old Lord's debugger and var dump hook and see what that says. All right, this is just something I do. Or you could, X debug it, but screw that. What's this? Twitch, yeah. Oh. Okay, so maybe we should die var dump because there's more to it there. I believe it's top level underscore page underscore Twitch. Like you were saying before, but if we die here, there we go. So that's the name of the page. So what this is the name, the hook name of this particular page. So if we're inside of this, we should get an echo. Oh no, sorry. This is returning early. So this should be like, this is the page, and then we should get a refresh. Oh, you know what? It's right in there. But if I inspect this, we'll see it. There it is. See, it's being output like in an awkward place, but there it is. And I'll zoom that in. There it is, waiting for us to do work. All right, cool. So now what we can do is we can enqueue the JavaScript that we're looking for on this particular thing, right? So we're gonna add. So we can add this. We don't have a script handler or anything that stuff yet, right? So we're gonna have to do all this. All right, and you know what? I have a little helper for this. Enqueue script from a plugin. See, this is more like what I like here. I like this format better. This is a snippet that I have. It makes life way easier. Stupid phones in the way. All right, so now in here, what I want to check for now is I want to check for the asset path. So I don't have the asset path in that, so it's going to be plugin dir path of this file build, and then it'll be whatever we call it. So I think we'll probably call it, probably just index, I'd imagine, because we don't need a block in here. I'm going to change this all up. And I clearly broke that. And then this is just going to enqueue everything that we need based on our assets file and everything. So just trust me that that's there. And then, then we're also going to need our custom CSS and the WordPress default CSS. So we'll put, I guess, some of this stuff in too. So let's, he's putting CSS in here. Interesting. Plugin and setup organization. Is there a repository he wants us to look at here? Let's see. Oh, okay. So there is a repository here that you can look at. It's 5 years old, so all these like steps and concepts and everything are what you'd follow. I imagine some of the things have changed since then, but we'll get something going and then we'll fight through it. So okay, so I'm gonna just skip the CSS stuff for now. What I want to do is I want to start building me JavaScript. So okay, so now I'm gonna get rid of block editor because we don't need that. In here, I'm just going to put a new file called index.js, and this is going to be our entry point. Probably have to redo the cd custom block, block editor, npm start. I should see it. We need some of them. Yeah. No, I like one thing that you'll probably have to do is all like you have to loop all of them, right? But yeah. So exactly what Kev is saying here. So you end up having to pull in the dependencies, do a loop, and enqueue all of those CSS files. And we're absolutely going to need some of them, but I kind of want to make a point out of showing that. Kevin! I love Kevin. Okay, so I have my build process running. Hold on. Do I need this? I don't need this. This is dumb. I'm just going to go source index.js. That's what I'm going to do. What's happening there is we're doing the block manifest thing, which we don't need in this particular case, where it's generating like a manifest file for all of the blocks, but we're not registering blocks. So I'm just using this as a quick scaffolding tool. So anyway, so I've just changed this so the build process is now just targeting source index, and it should be like basically nothing in here. So at the very least, the thing that we can do is okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab some of this stuff. I'm going to grab some of this and just sorry. I'm going to put some of it in. I'm going to just comment this stuff out for now because I'm not dealing with that yet. So basically we need create root from React so we can insert it into the root of so we can insert our thing into the page. And then we have DOM ready, which we're going to do. We're going to use that to know when, and then this is register core blocks. We're going to register the core blocks so we know blocks are available to us. So just going to grab this and plunk it into the bottom, right? So right here, what this is going to do, this is not a thing yet. Have we enqueued that already? Oh, he did. Okay, so settings. Okay, so he's adding an inline script in this case. Okay, we'll get that for now. This is just going to be an object for now. But basically, we need the element that we're generating, which is not that. It's going to be this. All right, I'm going to put that in there. So this is targeting. This targets the element where the block header will be rendered. This defines the settings for the block header, if any are provided. So right now I don't have this window.thing.getDave SBE settings yet, but it'll just be like an object, and then we're going to register the core blocks, so all of our core blocks are available, and then we're going to route that render, and then this is the component that's going to be rendered. So right now I'm just going to do a editor component and say hi there. Sure. All right, Copilot. You can have that, right? So this is not really what's going to happen, but this is going to just basically give us an empty object. This should render it onto the page, and we'll see what happens when it builds. So let's make sure it's building. It builds. Okay, so now we should hopefully have this little. Nothing happened. Okay, why didn't anything happen? Console? No console log. First try. First try never works. Ever in a million years. Let's see why. Oh, because, wait, hold on. I don't think I'm enqueuing. Let's check the enqueues. Okay, so, yeah, because it's index. That's why. Index. Let me show you a really interesting, you failed. God, you're nasty. You know, your father's a lovely man. You can clip this and send it to him. Your father's a lovely man. I don't know how you fell so far from the tree. That's the meanest thing I've ever said. Oh, Taylor, I love you. Yeah, well, okay. So first of all, let me show you something. Let me show you what I woke up to today from this guy. Where is it? Discord. Where are my messages? How do you work this? So Terrence goes. I don't know if you can see this. Will you? Oh, you can't see it. I'll read it to you. So, message from him, 6:32. Will you be streaming today again? You were slacking last week. I was at work at US last week, and I did stream last week. Anyway, it's good. It's good to have you here. It's fun. Okay, so I did do my stream. Now he's just giving me a hard time because that's how he likes to roll. Okay, so I want to show you. I skipped it and decided to meet him instead. Nice. Yes, you did, and we talked in a couple of places. It was great. What was I doing? Okay, great. Okay, so let me show you a way that we can figure out like. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I think it was too blurry.
What the deuce?
What the deuce? Oh, I apologize, Terrence, if you feel violated. I do apologize. I'm going to get canceled now. Anyways, I want to show you a really great debugging step that's the wrong button. I turned the volume up. So if you're like, what the deuce, why aren't things working? Go into your sources, go into page, look and see, like, yeah, you will know where you're, like, there should be a reference in the page to WP content / plugin / whatever my name of my plugin is. If it's not in there, it means it's not being enqueued. So right now we're still in the broken state. So if I refresh this now and I go to page, you can see I've got plugin, a block editor, blah 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 blah. So now I know that this is being enqueued, and I also know that I'm double escaping that thing, which I don't need. So I can take that off, and I can probably take that off too. Let's check. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Cool. So that's a good little debugging trick that I've sort of come to use a lot. So anyway, so we know that, okay, so now we can see that it's actually rendering up here. Okay. So this is JavaScript being insert right here in our thing here. Okay, so let's see what the next step is. God, Terrence, you're just like ruining my day. Now I feel guilty for trying to show messages. It's not like you told me you love me on there or anything. I mean, anyways, okay. So let's look at the editor component. Okay, so he's got a lot of stuff going on inside this editor component, and we should probably, okay, so he's got block editor, he's got notices, editor, sidebar, block editor. All right. So it looks like this is kind of what he has happening. So he has this drop zone provider. It's just good content, you know? It's just good content. And please say hi to your dad for me, because I think he's an amazing individual. Oh, and who is the other guy that you were hanging out with at work at Pure? I don't think we met. I think I just kind of like talked to you two and ignored the poor guy. I don't know. Not that he cared, but yeah. Okay, so let's start putting this together. So drop zone provider, standard stuff, ignoring people. Oh, yeah. Whatever. So yeah, so he's got, zoom in, so strict mode, shortcut provider, full screen mode, slot provider. There's a lot going on in here that's not necessarily discussed. I want to look at what I did for, so I know that we have a strict mode part. So there's a lot of these things that I think you just have to like put together. Like you just have to like, okay, this is how it works, right? So in our slide, in our speaker notes, so I've got strict mode, I've got shortcut provider, and I've got slot fill provider. So I think he's doing basically, why is my mouse not working? Shortcut, full screen. Oh, okay, he's got full screen mode active. And then he's got slot fill provider. Okay. All right, I don't know what all these components do, but maybe we should figure that out. So I'm going to import a bunch of this stuff. Where is that? Strict mode from element. That must be like React strict mode, I guess. So in here, I'm gonna add a new folder. I'm gonna call it components. All right, and then I'm going to put an editor in here, editor.js. Right, I'm gonna import. Okay, so we're gonna import strict mode. I'm just gonna build this up as it goes, right? Yeah, the problem with a tutorial like this, and like Dave, who did the tutorial, is a really smart guy, and he has an amazing YouTube channel. He's very good at like he's really good at explaining things to people. But one of the problems is it's very hard to explain this stuff, because what is happening here? Because there are so many things that are not that you have to explain, right? Like there's just so many things. So I'm gonna just replace this editor, right, with here, and I'm just gonna go export default editor, not defaults, editor. Who's that? What? Look, you don't explain anything right away. Yeah, I know. I don't explain a thing. I don't explain a thing. Shut your face. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is we have to return. We got to wrap our stuff in strict mode. All right. Now, I don't know what strict mode does, but let's take a look. Strict mode comes from. Why did that not want to format? Something's okay. Is prettier okay here? Prettier should be saving. Prettier's not saving. What? Oh, I know why. Okay, hold on. Sorry, stand by. I don't think I'm using the actually prettier config that I want to use. I'm gonna plug this in here. Not that. Okay, so now hopefully. There we go. Okay, and this is formatting how I want to format. Okay, perfect. Sorry, there was some. Strict mode will invoke your use effect. Will invoke your. Oh, interesting. Why? So strict mode. Okay, so we're gonna use strict mode. Strict mode comes from let's you. Oh, interesting. So that's all it does. Does other stuff too. Okay. So strict mode is according to this, strict mode lets you find common bugs. Okay, so let's look at the React reference. Lets you find common bugs in your components during early development. Is it weird that we have strict mode in like production code? Is that a thing? Okay, so this is okay, so oh, interesting. So they only run in development. They may help you find bugs that already exist in your code. Okay, cool. So, all right. So that's what we're using that for. That makes sense. All right. So we're wrapping all the stuff in strict mode. Nice. Next one. Thank you. Next. Oh, keyboard. Okay. So then we've got shortcut provider, which I'm pretty sure shortcut provider handles shortcuts. That's what that's gonna do. So I don't think we need to really look at it too much. Other than that, all right, so we're gonna wrap all our doodads in there. Now let's see, just make sure things are going okay. So I don't know, Command K, like what? Okay, so shortcuts are there. There's a, when I built this before, there's a lot of wrapping things that like give functionality to other things, like yeah, keyboard shortcuts. What's annoying? So he's using full screen mode, which I've never interface skeleton. Okay, interface skeleton. This is really interesting. Oh, I see what he's doing. Okay. So what I did was I used the shortcut provider, then I used the slot fill provider. So slot fill provider, you absolutely need. And pop over. Doubles your console logs. Yeah, but I would imagine it doesn't run if you're in build, right? Okay, so shortcut provider. So full screen mode. I wonder why that's in there. So let's take a look. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull that out of there. And in my editor, I'm gonna plunk this in here, right? So then we're gonna put, nope. I think he just did this. Is it just this? Yeah, just that. So it's going is active is false. So I don't know why this would be in here. So I'm just gonna like step through this, and we're gonna just look at each sort of instance and see. Oh, that didn't. Something broke. No, what happened there? Cannot find WordPress interface, missing module components. Oh. Is WordPress interface not a thing anymore? All right, let's look. Oh, maybe we have to install it. Oh, we need a Babel loader and all this stuff. Right. Let's see. Is this an actual package? Let's go to the block editor. Do the package. Okay, so you probably have to. It's probably one of the ones that you have to install. We aren't benefiting from the dependency extraction plugin. So when you're building in a lot of these packages, they get converted into like dependencies like this, like keyboard shortcuts, WP element, DOM, ready, block library, all that sort of stuff. And then what you end up doing is what that gets converted into is just accessing it on the global. But it looks like that perhaps that package is not included in the list. You're right, Lilith. Why would you have console logs in build mode? That is an excellent point. We got Muhibul Hake from LinkedIn. Dropped a heart. Thank you so much. Good to see you. All right, so let's see what happens over here. Okay, so that works. So we're still not seeing anything different yet, right? So we're just kind of working through things. We've got our full screen mode. We'll put that in. We should probably look that up, actually. I don't know what, I mean, I have a sense of what that does, but I don't really know what that does. So we can go look at the Gutenberg repo, take a look at full screen. But I imagine that handles the full screen editing and whatnot, but lots of packages. And then we got interface, preferences, source, components, full screen mode. Doesn't really give us much information. Oh, okay, so it's adding and removing classes to full screen mode. Okay, so it's not too much that we need to do. So we're just setting this to act. We're hard coding this to be false, to not be active. Okay, so yeah, I think so, but I don't think, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to play with it to see kind of where we end up here. So in the editor again, we are looking at, so slot fill provider. So this one we know. I can explain this one. I know this one. I'm gonna go on these. So slot fill provider is the wrapping element that you need to have in order for slot fills to actually work. Wait, is that outside of? It is outside of full screen mode. Okay. So you want to put that in. It's the only way for slots to work. So anything inside of this that has like exposes a slot will have its dots connected for us. So that's, and again, we're not going to see anything visual in here. It's still saying hi there and all that goodness. Maybe you need to zoom that in. You probably can't see that at all. Okay, so the next one is, so now they're using this interface skeleton thing. Now, I think this is how we build like the contents of it. So let's grab in. I'm going to grab this, right? I'm going to plunk it in here. Right, and then we're gonna have a header. So we'll say that let's make this just return a div. There we go. Header. Sorry. We'll get there, and then we'll have one called sidebar. I don't know. This I may need to add some classes here in a second, but sidebar. And then, don't think that's what we need yet. So we need block editor. Okay, so we're just gonna call this content for now. So I don't know what this is gonna look like. So let's have a look here. Oh, you know what? Let's get rid of this. We'll plunk that into the content. And then we might have to pull apart the components that he was demoing over here. So let's see what this is. So. Okay. All right. So this might be where we need some CSS perhaps. But let's see. Let's look at his components. So we go to source, go into components. So the header. What's it wrapped in? Oh, so he's got his own CSS. The index here. Pulling in CSS. Wow, he's pulling in a lot of stuff. Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. I do, Kev. So, what they were doing? Oh, not there. CSS. We're gonna want to do this. So we are. We need probably more than that. So, the trick that Kevin's talking about is you say for each assets, as dependency as file. I'm gonna enqueue styles for each one of those. Should just be able to do it like this. All right, so what that's going to do is that's going to loop through our assets here, and if there's JavaScript for each one of these, it's going to, or sorry, CSS for each one of these, it's going to enqueue the styles associated with that. So let's see. Okay, well, that didn't do much. Okay, well, we got some of that stuff. So he's actually enqueuing some other CSS, so maybe we should start adding some of that CSS too. Oh, no, not there. Let's get rid of that. Is what in the DOM? I think I need some of this stuff. Like, I think there's a bunch of things that I have to do in here. Like base styles and all of that stuff. Your sidebar. Is it in the DOM? It might be. I don't know. Let's look. I don't think anything's in the DOM. Now that I look at it. Block editor, div, interface skeleton, interface editor. This is the header. Weird. No, it doesn't look like there's anything in there. So maybe I'm not just returning that. Oh God, what have I done? Let's look and see. So his components, his header component looks like what? Okay. What is my keyboard is actually very slow right now after I type this. All right, I'm just gonna steal all that. And then he had some CSS that he's pulling in here. Yeah, I should be. That should be enqueued through this list, but we could. I could just do what was it? Block library. Block library. We can see that. Maybe I'm just not doing that right. I look. Hold on. Yeah, it's doing what I want it to do. Is it building properly? It is building properly. Is it building properly? Okay, it is building properly. Okay, let's. There's a lot of moving parts going on here, so I'm gonna get what he has in place, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll get that figured out. So then, as we need I'm gonna set this up differently. I think I don't like how I'm doing this. Okay, yeah. Oops. Components. I'm gonna call this header, and then move that in there. Call this index. And we'll do new file, styles. I think that's what they have set up, right? So in the header, styles, index, we'll grab this. See here? Okay, and then what is he's not including that in there. He must be including it in somewhere else. So, is he included it here? No. So component, and then source. Style is, okay, so he's importing all the styles from there. All right. I'm just gonna block this in here. I think I'm actually, yeah, so. Who knows? Let's see what this does. All right, could confirm it is loading. I don't want to confirm it's loading, Kevin. Oh, got something broken there. Woo, what's this? Sidebar. Oh, of course. Of course. Because I'm not. They don't exist. import. Was it? That's all screwed up. So yeah, header. So just import components. Header. Import header. No. Okay. This seems super weird to me. I don't see the header at all. Like that doesn't seem spec. Right? Well, that's the content, so that's loading there. But the header's not loading. So I must be doing something wrong with the way I'm building the header. Oh, is it in it? Yeah, maybe you're right. Oh, that's exactly what it is. It's not supposed to be a function that returns something. This is me being stupid. My bad. Okay, so this should be. We're getting there now. There we go. Standalone block editor. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there, folks. Okay, I'm gonna add another component here, and then I'm just gonna steal this. So this is what sidebar is the one we wanted, right? All right, let's see. So source, we're gonna go components. We're gonna go sidebar, and I'm gonna grab this. It's just pretty standalone. Look at this stuff. So, oh, he's building the slot, all kinds of stuff. Okay, interesting. And then some CSS. That. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Edit side does not exist. Interesting. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so where's this error coming from? Sidebar styles. Okay. Open sidebar styles. Sidebar styles. Edit site sidebar. Meh. So there's the inspector. Getting there. And I think, oh, yeah. You know what the other part is? That I need to enqueue this custom CSS stuff. There should be some CSS in there right now. Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna ground. I'm gonna steal the stuff that he did. I'm gonna plunk it right. I guess here. And I'm gonna use. So we build index CSS. Okay, sure. Well, that looks a little bit better, I guess. A little bit A little bit better. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay. So, all right. So we're getting a little closer. Getting a little closer. Do I need this? I don't think I need that. Let's see. All right. So the music just stop? I don't know what's going on. My AirPods just got disconnected or something. Oh, weird. Hold on. I'm just gonna turn them off, turn them back on. So strange. One sec. Sorry. All right. Let's try this again. Try this again. There we go. Can you hear the music? All right. That's weird. That's super weird. Okay. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, technical issues. Let's see what's going on. Maybe it'll just pop back in if I is it OBS that is the problem, or okay, hold on. I'm gonna quit loop back, and maybe that'll reconnect. Yeah, it's weird. I can hear it locally, but not on stream. I don't. I don't. Okay. Are we? Oh boy, what happened? Well, OBS just crashed on me. I don't know if. There we go. That was weird. I still don't have proper audio though for OBS or for Spotify's. That's just not happening. So I don't know what's going on here. Oh man, everything is just kind of like falling apart on me here. Okay, hold on. Sorry, this is very strange. I don't know what's happened. I need loop back to go. Yeah, I just had a crash. OBS. Okay, I don't know. I might just have to quit OBS and restream. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna quit OBS. I'm gonna jump back on. We're gonna continue with what we did. I don't know what's happening though, but there's something weird afoot. So I'm just gonna stop streaming. I will be back though. I'll be right back in like 1 minute. All right. I'll see you in a minute.